We'll give it a few minutes to get going, wake everybody up, and send out notifications while I sit and play with a knife that I'm going to be showing off today. And I think I brought a couple of others to show and talk about. And we'll talk about a couple of interesting topics today. I hope. I hope they're interesting to you. I find them interesting because they're about me. And apparently, yeah, I have a big ego to be able to be online on the internet, according to some of the texts I was reading yesterday. Some of the chats. Apparently, you have to have a big ego to be able to do live streams, where it comes across as that you got a big ego because you want to sit here and talk to people. Uh, I look upon it more as a community participation and community obligation thing. So uh, we'll see how this goes here. Hey, I've already got a like, but I don't see anyone here. Hello, whoever's here. Hi, welcome, and we're gonna talk about some different knives today. Alrighty. Keep getting interrupted messages. Hopefully nothing work. Hey there, Mo Patty. How are you doing? And Blue, hi. And again, I am horrible with names, so I'm gonna call you by your screen names, and I please beg you not to be bothered by that. I don't want anyone to feel slighted, but name recognition and memory is just not anything I'm gonna be doing very well with, and I try, but it isn't gonna happen. So hey, Blue, I'm going to be sending you a package back. Just a couple of my stickers and a little challenge coin that I meant to send you way back when you had the tornado, and I never got sent to you. I just found it. So do what I need to. What's that mean? Um, so apparently, Mo, that we have to have a big ego to do live streams and talk about ourselves. That's interesting. I don't look at it like that. I look upon it as I guess I'm a natural extrovert to some degree because I look upon it as just participating in the community and being with people. I don't know about the rest of you all. I see we got several people in here. Say hello, Joe. Good morning. How have you been? Now, see, Joe Lancelot Leather. For some reason, I remember your name, Joe. I was just commenting that I can't remember anyone else's names, and here I remember yours, no problem. I go figure. Um, so, uh, let's see, what was I talking about? I was talking about ego and doing live streams. Just don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it as a big ego. I just see it as wanting to reach out and participate, like I said, in the community and give back some content for people to be entertained with. I know we have a lot of people in the community with mobility deficits that just don't get out much, and the community is a big a part of their escape and ability to reach out and participate in the world. And so uh, if we can give back to that, why shouldn't we, right? Yeah, at least that's the way I look at it. What am I flipping right now? I am flipping a rather unusual knife. This is the Arcona Nettle X. It's in K110, and it is a Russian knife. Got it through Knife Nuts podcast guy. I think a direct thing. Hey Ed, welcome. Good morning. Um, right, I guess right about the same time of the Ukraine thing, and so when Russia became bad. But this is a Russian-made knife. Uh, Excellent action, as you can just see. I mean, it goes down real smooth. It's in black and kind of a whitish paper micarta. I think it was really supposed to be black and white, but the black probably just stained right through when they were making it. And middle, steel liners, inset liners, and they're partial. They're not real heavy, thick liners. Oh, is there liners in there or not? Oh my gosh, no! It is just a half liner. Oh yeah, they are. They're cutout liners, so they're partial out. Anyway, very cool knife, very sharp, very fun. Front flipper. Only although it does have this tiny little hole here, you could try to flip, and I can do it, but it's not pleasant. Um, but as a front flipper, it works really well, and you can just sit here and front finger flip it like this all the time. It's a really cool knife. So, but I wanted to talk about some budget knives today, and whether or not you're really getting your value and stuff for knives, because I've been talking about some expensive knives that I tend to carry, and we have the Ozark Grail for a $10 knife. Admittedly, the D2 steel is perhaps not very good steel. I mean, not very well heat treated, according to um, oh Lord, what is his name? Anyway, one of the guys I watch here on YouTube, one of the many people. Um, the action's gritty, but pretty good for a $10 knife. Um, if I were in an emergency, like say I'm going traveling and I'm flying and I land in a new town and I have time to go to Walmart, I would be absolutely happy to pick this up and carry it with me on a trip and then just give it to somebody as I was leaving. I think that that would be perfectly good. However, I did want to talk about a knife that's actually a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit better, even though there's a huge amount of controversy over it. And I'm going to go further to say it's a lot better for like 30 bucks. But at least I got this one for 30 bucks. This is the Icon knives from Harbor Freight. And I know it looks like a big knife, and yeah, there's the whole design language, conflict and all of that stuff, and people were offended by this knife when it came out. But I have to say, the carbon fiber inlays are some of the smoothest inlaid carbon fiber I've ever felt. The G10 is milled and excellent construction. The action, pretty good, pretty good. The D2, I've been cutting with it, and it actually seems to be fairly sharp and well made. And I mean, they even have a little red ring around the pivot collar. The access to the liner is excellent. So, all in all, this knife is a good knife. For 30 bucks, I think it gives the Penguin a run for its money, and I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't made in the same place. Um, Maybe not. Penguins are a little bit more bulky, and I believe QSP makes them at the same place Finch does, right? I can believe it or not, I guess I've handled enough knives now that I can start to feel. Um, Hi, everybody coming in. I will recognize people in just a moment. Uh, I can get to feel like almost what factory a knife was made at, because they have different feels to them, and you can kind of tell the quality of the make. Okay, so uh, moving back here, what do we got? We got Blue. You're gonna be going on the live stream at 6:30. Okay, I'll try to catch you on Friday. Let's see here. We've got Juve Vargas. Juve? Um, whatever you're trying to say. Hi, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel. I don't care if you come in and you make all kinds of comments, as long as you keep them polite and non-offensive. You can come in and be as silly as you want. I don't really care. We don't talk politics. We don't talk religion. We don't talk things that can be found to be offensive to people. We want to make everyone feel welcome into, at least I want to make everyone feel welcome into the knife community as far as I'm concerned. So please feel free, and do help me out getting to my subscription totals and my view totals by being here and watching. And then Q7B, whatever you are, Q7, I guess I'm going to call you. I have not had to sharpen it. If you're talking about this one, I've been using it for 6 months, off and on, cutting, you name it. Um, and I have not had to do any sharpening on it. It's stayed pretty good. I can still feel the bite of the edge with my thumb, no problem. And so I just wanted to comment, because I think a lot of times we get into this space with knife collecting thinking, oh my God, it's got to be at least, this much. I'm not looking at anything less than that anymore. And we want to make sure we don't. I want to make sure I don't miss out on something that's really good. And sadly, because of the conflicts about this thing, it kind of got overlooked that it's actually a really good, well-made knife. And it's a pity that people will have that problem. So a question came up yesterday that I missed going by about me being a physical therapist, which if you don't know and you're new here, which with six of you all, I don't see that many. Hi, Greg. Welcome. Please, please, please make sure you're subscribed and give me your time. Let me pull in all the hours I can get from y'all. Thank you. And go and watch other videos, pretty please. Uh, so as a physical therapist, what's it take to become a physical therapist? Well, I can tell you what it takes now, and I can tell you what I went through, and those are two different things, although it's slightly. Currently, to become a physical therapist, you have to get an undergraduate degree, you have to be accepted into a doctoral program, and you get to become a doctor. And you are, when you graduate, a doctor of physical therapy. Well, you have a doctor's degree. Then you take your licensing boards, and to get the through the licensing is difficult. It's basically, like a medical licensing board for medicine. I mean, it's you have to know everything. You have to be really good at it, and I mean, and when you think about it, I like to point out, I mean, you have to have, I think it's 75% just to pass. But who wants their doctor or their therapist to be wrong one time in four? I mean, we want to be right all the time. Especially if it's my body, I want you right all the time. I don't want you making mistakes. And so I personally think the board should be higher to get through, but they put in so many trick questions, and they have a certain number of questions that you can't get right. That way they can check for cheating. And it is a big psychological thing, as well as the difficulty in passing the test. So that's how you become licensed as a physical therapist now. Once you're licensed, you have to practice for a while. After you have practiced and you have enough hours in, and you've done enough continuing education in diagnostics, then you can start to do direct practice here in South Texas, which I'm allowed to do, which means that you could come to me as a patient and say, "Hey, man, I twisted my ankle. Can you treat me?" And I could just treat you directly. You can just pay me. I can take care of it. People don't do that because of Medicaid, Medicare, and insurance nowadays. But I see a time in the future where that will become a thing again, where it's just easier to go and pay someone $50 or $100 to, check you out and tell you what you need to do to take care of something, or tell you that you need to go get X-rays, you need to get this, that, and the other done. Um, and as a PT, and it's pretty cool to be in that position that we can do that. Although we still can't prescribe medications yet. One day we will. I think we are at the edge of being able to prescribe diagnostics and like order X-rays and MRIs, which will be coming sometime soon. It'd be kind of cool if we do get there. The Now when I went to PT school, wow, it was a totally different world. It's the same world. It's just the degrees were worth more back then. I don't know what to say. A bachelor's degree doesn't seem to be worth much nowadays. So I went to school. I'm old school. I'm actually just a bachelor of science to get through it, but I took the exact same PT licensing board exam that current PTs take to become a PT. And I have to do continuing education every 2 years. Just we all do for 30 hours to maintain our skills, if you will. To get into a PT program when I was getting in was really difficult. It was about 1,200 applicants that you had to have a GPA cutoff to get to, and then you had to have at least a 3 point. In my case, it was 3.5, 3.51 GPA to get an interview. They took 350 people for interviews, and they accepted 50 into the program. So you get the idea of how competitive and difficult it was to get in. It's very challenging. At the time, it was more competitive and difficult than the med school at Indiana University where I went. It may still be. PT programs have been popping up; they're more common. Even down here, we have one now. But yeah, is what it is. I was a clinical instructor for many years, where I was the clinical teacher for doctoral students coming out. So once you're out in the field, there's the whole experience thing, and then there's of course the like I said, the licensure. All your degree gets you in a medical field, at least in the current medical fields, is the opportunity to take the test to be able to practice. You have to pass the test to be able to practice. If you can't pass the test, yeah, you can't practice. That's just the way it goes. You can consult, but that's about it. And who really wants to consult with someone who's not licensed to practice? And that's the way it goes. You've been a PT 3 times, Greg. I hope they've been good, positive experiences. Most people, the biggest problem that we have really is just a lack of carryover. People get out of therapy and then they stop exercising. Yeah, the exercise helps, and then they stop. And as we get older, once you hit the age of 30, you're starting to lose muscle. And by the time you're 40 or 50, you're losing muscle fast enough that if you don't stay active, you're going to be in trouble. By the time you hit 70, if you're not doing specific exercises to keep your strength up, you're going to be in trouble. I have a kind of a unique career in that the goal of the career that I have is to put myself out of business, right? If I if I could do my job as successfully uh, as I want, no one would be sick anymore, right? I wouldn't have a job. The reality is that my profession capitalizes off of human nature, which is pretty common, really. Look at smoking, drinking, everything else. But it capitalizes off of human nature, which is quite simply that people are, I guess, no offense to anybody, lazy. We take the easy route, and it's kind of biologically wired into us. We're biologically designed to conserve energy, to not waste energy and effort on things that are not productive and that are not going to help us. And long-term planning in terms of productivity, such as like exercising to in your 30s so that in your 70s you're doing good. Yeah, we're all super lazy. It's not just you, Greg. Um, it made it worse. I'm sorry that it made things worse. I really am. Uh, if you ever have any questions I could try to help you with, I'd be happy to. I'm happy for anyone on here. If you have any questions, I can answer for you related to something like that. As long as it doesn't cross over into actually doing diagnostics or treatment. Yeah, most of the time I'm going to tell you go see somebody. Realistically. Um, but yeah, no. So that's where I became a PT. I've been practicing since 1998. I speak Spanish, so I moved down here to South Texas, and I've been here ever since. I love the valley. The Rio Grande Valley. It reminds me of Indianapolis when I was growing up, which is just small town feel, semi-rural, but so. Need a fusion? Yeah, yeah, Greg, I understand. I've had back surgery myself, and I have to do my own exercises to maintain it. And I've got other things happening, and my spine's getting worse. I have a degenerative scoliosis. In fact, it's probably a testimony to physical therapy and exercise that I function, I can work. Um, but the best thing you can do on something like that is just stabilize the heck out of it, work all your muscles to get everything as stable as possible, and then try your best not to irritate it. Little things like sitting wrong, as I'm sure you know, you sit wrong for 20 minutes, you get up, and like all of a sudden you got a big problem. You bend wrong or you move wrong. It doesn't take much. So I pray for you that you get some relief and uh, and that you do get it better, or at least get it to where you can live with it. I generally don't recommend surgery for people, although with the laser surgeries they're doing now and the minimally invasive stuff, it might be better. You might be able to get it done. Um, but for the most part, if you can live with a problem, I'm not a big fan of surgery and most medical interventions. In fact, I'm not a big fan, and I have to be careful here. Probably get myself in trouble. I'm not a big fan of most doctors. I've found, well, like I said, I'm particular. I don't want someone taking care of me to get an 80% on their exams, right? And I don't want them to be wrong two times out of 10 when it comes to what's going on with me and my body, or my family, or things like that. And so I'm very particular. So just scoliosis, yeah. Has anyone told you? And yep, yeah. And usually with a mild scoliosis, it'll take a therapist noticing it. I notice it because, of course, I have one, so I notice it in people. But if you ever want to self-examine, just bend forward, reach your toes, and have someone take a look at your back. And if you have one of your ribs higher than the others, you have a scoliosis. Congratulations. So um, that's the easy test for it. But most of the time, we see it in posture and movement when people are moving because one side doesn't move the same as the other, and they have a rotational problem in their spine. And it's usually a scoliosis because your vertebrae don't just move forward and back side to side. When they move forward, they rotate. When they move backwards, they rotate. And when they move sideways, they rotate. And so you have a lot of movements that are kind of interesting. So, but yes, Greg, yeah, uh, like she said, hugs to you, and hopefully hopefully you can tolerate it or at least manage to live with it. I would expect that you've already figured out how you're going to live with how you feel most of the time. But hey, let me tell you, they had me on pain medications. A little confession time here, right? They had me on pain medications, muscle relaxants, Xanax, sleep medications, and all kinds of stuff for, oh my god, about 10 years of my life, maybe a little bit more. And I'm not getting those 10 years back. My my affect, my well being, my family life, everything was just worse. At some point, at least in my life, I've gotten to the realization that just living with the pain, it makes the pain less. It's actually easier to deal with it. Most of the pain medicines just cover it up for a little while, and then you pay the price later. Yeah, you either get more pain later on the bounce back, or you pay the price through addiction or whatever the case may be. So most pain medications just really don't help much. Anti-inflammatories, that's a different story. Although you got to watch out because apparently a lot of anti-inflammatories now, like look at what's going on with Benadryl as a sleep aid. Now they're saying it causes dementia. Go figure. That's so heartfelt. That is true. He's absolutely right. Yeah. Ouch. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Yeah. When you get really painful like that, there's just not much you can do. And it does. Even a light touch hurts a lot. So a handful of Vicodin. Yeah. Just be careful with it. It's yeah, like you said, it's a slippery slope. It's real easy to just end up taking more of them. And with Vicodin, what I tell people to worry about is not so much the hydrocodone, it's the Tylenol. Because if you're taking Vicodin and then you're, oh, I don't want to take another Vicodin, I've already had two today or whatever, and you start taking Tylenol, all of a sudden you're at 3 to 4 grams of Tylenol, which is liver toxic. So you want to be very careful with that. It can get out of hand in that direction too. So it's just difficult to manage getting older. Frankly, it's OLD. It's contagious. It's terminal. Everyone's going to catch it. You catch it from people that have it, and so we're all going to die from it. Yeah, yeah. The newest pandemic. If you didn't know that was the case, they're actually trying to make age a medical diagnosis as an illness. So at some point, they will probably say that OLD is actually an illness. So it'd be kind of cool if they could do the telomere extension thing and we could all live a little bit longer. But I question the quality of life that people will have if they do a whole lot of life extension. I think that a lot of people might be looking at a longer life, but a longer dependency on a system, to support them than a longer high quality life, which I think would be the intent, right? We want a high quality life. We want to be mobile. That being said, I had a lady this past week, not this week, last week, that was 101 and walking around with a walker on her own in her family's house. And if I could live to be 101 and be moving on my own, and awesome. And every once in a while, I do encounter someone who is older that tells me with all seriousness they have no pain at all, ever. Talk about jealous. Talk about jealous. I don't know how or how people live that way, but yeah, it's insane. So, um, let's see here. 14, 30, 43, yeah, inactive, slow, it gets worse and worse. Yeah, it will. So you've got to just start being more active, start doing little walks. What I'm telling all my patients, just as a baseline, is as you get older, stand up and sit down 3 times and go for a short walk in your house, wherever you're at, every hour all day long. Start doing that. Start standing up and sitting down repeatedly every hour, and you'll maintain your strength a lot better than not. So, and if you can do that, Greg, I recommend it for you if you can tolerate it. Just a little walk and just some sit to stands. If you start doing that 8 or 9 times a day, you'll be surprised how much faster or how much stronger you get and how much faster you regain some strength and how you stabilize your back. So maybe give it a try. And it's relatively safe. If you can't do 3 sit to stands and walk a little bit, you got a problem when it comes to going to the bathroom. You know, you're gonna have an issue. And so or you're not gonna have an issue, or you're gonna have an issue where you don't want it. Well, anyway, something along those lines. And so yeah, we don't want that. Anyway, well, I'm going to be looking at starting to wrap this up. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for coming and joining me today. Just a reminder, 1,000 sub giveaway at 3,000 hours. And every minute that you share with me in here and that you stay logged in and that you go and watch another video brings that closer and makes it sooner. Today in my pocket is the Arcona Nettle F, I believe it's called. A freaking good one. Walk 45 minutes, work 7 days a week for 5 months, and I hold it to the body. Oh yeah, I hear you. I work 7 days a week too. It's amazing. You know what? The problem with work, and I need to deal with this myself. The problem with thinking work and other your normal activities are going to maintain or keep you strong is that it's a logical breakdown. It's some kind of a fallacy. I'd have to look it up. Um, your work activities and your current level of activities have just served to get you where you're at. There is absolutely no way they're going to get you any better. You have to add to it. And so, yeah, you work 7 days a week. You're exhausted, and you don't have any energy left to do anything else, and that's how it gets to go. um, Having to go to the bathroom. Yeah, if you're out working, having to go to the bathroom sucks. I have to go to gas station bathrooms all the time, and it's awful. Ugh, what am I carrying out with me? And I mean, and down here, that's one of the things living on the border is an issue with. When we encounter every kind of illness that you can imagine, they all are coming across the border. And not to talk politics or anything like that, but I encounter all kinds of illnesses here. You name it. And so, like, going to the bathroom is an exercise in hygiene, for sure. Because you want to make sure that you're clean afterwards and you don't carry something out that someone may have left in the bathroom unintentionally, or for that matter, intentionally. You never know. Yeah, tighten this. My pivot's looping around. Oh, tighten the other one. I'm going to take care of this here in just a second. So, nice thing about these pivots on this Arcona is that you can really just tighten them with your fingernail. And I let this one get loose enough that I need to use some stuff on it. I let the blade move. So I'm going to have to take care of this one. I can actually look at it. Um, Mentally is pain. Nothing screw you over than your own brain and best interest for the keep secrets. um, Yeah, it's probably why my undergrad was in psychology and my obviously my grad works in physical therapy, right? I was one class away from the BS in psychology as well. The I think that's why people go into medicine and stuff, is to try to figure out those secrets for themselves, because we don't trust trust other people. Um, yeah, the brain is the body is its own thing, and yeah, it can. As you said, keep secrets from you. It can, and when your memory starts to go, it's even worse. So let's get this thing centered here. There we go, and now tighten. I'm gonna have to use two. I got a free spinning pivot here, guys. All right, 1 second. Get this taken care of, and then I will get ready and log out. So you all have an absolutely wonderful day. Um, I appreciate you spending your time with me. As I was talking about, if you get a chance and you have the extra $30, or might even be 35 now, everything is going up. You might want to check this guy out. I'm really impressed with it. Shouldn't be. I wanted to hate it just like everybody else because of where it is, but it's a surprisingly good knife. Really good. And it makes the Spyderco Tenacious look underwhelming. So, yes, you all take it easy. You all have an absolutely wonderful day. I will see you. Next one will be tomorrow between patients, sometime around 10 to 10:15. So I will hopefully see you all on the bounce tomorrow. And I pray, Greg, that you find relief and you get better. Hey, it's good exercise, but again, you can't count as exercise anything that you're doing because you want to or you have to. Those don't count as exercise. Exercise is what you don't want to do that is more than you do normally. I should write a book on that, huh? Anyway, let me get this thing set up to send, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Next one. And we are going to. And we will wish you all an absolutely wonderful day again. Bye.